Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today I'm bringing to you my top 10 spring list, so stay tuned for that. And if you like the content, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. So this year for spring, I'm actually going to do a mixed designer niche list. So this has a little bit of both, although it is definitely a little more niche heavy. But these are the ones that I've picked because I feel like they're good for the season, and some of them I just really enjoy and I want to wear them more. So without further ado, let's get into it. First on the list is Vetiver Parfum Cologne by Roja. This is a new release, and of course the star of this is Vetiver. It is a little bit fresher than the Parfum version, and it has a little bit more of a citrusy opening, which definitely makes it suit the warming up weather quite nicely. And I do actually really enjoy this one. This is a very simple fragrance because it is a Vetiver dominant fragrance with not a ton of other things really happening with it, but it is nice, it is easy to wear, and when I just want to reach for something, when I just want to wear something that smells nice, this is what I'm going to pick. Now that the weather is starting to finally warm up, I'm going to be pulling out this one from Armaf. Some people say this one smells like Aventus plus GIT, which I really don't think it does. It's more like GIT with a more citrus opening. And I really enjoy the citrus part of that fragrance. So this has the addition of pineapple as well as stronger citrus all around. And I find that it makes it a much more enjoyable fragrance, especially more enjoyable than Train Nuit. Now, this one doesn't have the best performance, which is not a big problem because I think this is only around $20 and I don't mind respraying it, but it does smell nice, and I think it is one that is good for office, good for a little bit more formal situations, and good when you want to smell pleasant, but want something that's easy for other people to enjoy as well. And certainly that fits the bill. And of course, this is nice because spring, you know, you have all the blossoming of the flowers, things getting green again, and this has a very nice green, kind of almost fresh cut grass vibe to it that really goes nicely with the changing season. So I do enjoy this one, and that's going to be my number 9 choice. Next on this list is Oud Amazing. This is a really nice, really digestible oud fragrance. It has a note of fig in it, which I do really enjoy because I find that fig is somewhat used but not used a ton in fragrances, and it does have a very unique fruity profile. This opens up very fruity, and it has a nice digestible oud backbone that just comes across as woody, but a little bit different than your standard wood. So this is in no way skanky or nothing that you're going to be needing to find someone who really likes the artistry of perfumery to enjoy it. This is a mass appealer. This is one I've gotten compliments on from some very unexpected places, and this is one I enjoy. So definitely, as it's not full-blown heat, I feel like the fruitiness still works. Temperatures are still climbing, and this is definitely a good one to wear in that transitional period. Next on the list is actually a newcomer. This is Navis by Navis Parfums. I know this brand has gotten some hate, it's gotten some love, but personally this fragrance, I absolutely love it. It has bitter grapefruit very prominently in the opening and a lot of green notes, giving it a very nice green accord. And I do really like that sort of greenness that it has, and I love a bitter grapefruit. And so this one works really well for me. I do really enjoy it, and I might actually pick up a bottle when a 50ml becomes available of this one. Anyways, I do enjoy this one, and I think on those warmer days, especially when you want something fresh, something enjoyable, this is a good one. Now, sticking with the theme of bitter grapefruit, next I'm going with Voodoo from Jour Parfums. This is one of their originals. Yes, this is the original presentation, now a collector's item, and I do have it. This is bitter grapefruit and vetiver, and I think both of those things work nicely in the season. It's nice, very citric. That bitter grapefruit lasts a very long time, and it has a nice woody base to sit on. So it does have a good amount of masculinity to it as well because of that woodiness, and the nice bitter citrus accord that is there is certainly something that does have a strong lasting power. And actually, I think I'm going to make this my scent of the day. Next is one that I actually first got my nose on in London. I really do want to get a full bottle of this one. But it's interesting because this is actually a very heavy leather fragrance, Irish leather by Memo. However, this leather is a lot fresher. There is juniper berries in this, and there is some green notes that gives it a lot of freshness for a very long duration. So even though this one has quite a strong leather note, it is very fresh and very interesting. This is leather done quite a bit differently than a lot of the things that I've smelled and a lot of things I've gotten my nose on. So I do appreciate that about this fragrance. And for me personally, I actually enjoy this one more than African leather. So this is one that when I can find it for the right price, I am going to be picking up a full bottle of it. The next one, new release 2020, and I had to include a barbershop fragrance because I feel like very good for the season, especially with this somewhat cool temperature that I have here on the West Coast. And that is Beau de Jour by Tom Ford. Recently re-released as the signature line, which I think was a great move. This is a very nice, very classic rendition of a barbershop fragrance, and if you do enjoy those types of fragrances, you really should get your nose on this one, because to me it is the classic staple. The way that it smells, this is exactly what I think a barbershop fragrance really reminds me of, and I do enjoy this one. Performance on this one also very good, so I get easily 8 hours out of this one, which is quite strong for this type of fragrance. And I think it is a pretty good performer all around. Nice, masculine, classic fragrance, and I do enjoy it a lot, so that's my number 4. All right, we are into the top 3, the best of the best, and starting off that list, I have none other than Parfums de Marley Galloway. Now, Galloway is one of the fragrances that I feel is definitely underrated by the house. A lot of people either pass over this one or don't like it so much, and that's fine because it means that when I wear it, it smells a little more unique. This is a really nice, fresh, musky fragrance. It has a nice citrusy opening, and it has a great pepper note that keeps it a little bit interesting. So it is a fairly simple fragrance. It is straightforward, but to me it comes off very classy, very fresh, and very clean, and I think that's something that's very good for the season. This is something that is definitely office safe because it's very inoffensive and it's very enjoyable. But that being said, I think this is probably the year that I will finish off this decant, and I will have to pick up a full bottle after that. Speaking of finishing off bottles, my number 2, I've had it for about a year now, and I think I am going to be finishing this one off this year, and that is Zion by Alexandra Fragrances. This is their interpretation of Elysium. Now, I love Elysium. It smells fantastic, but I don't get very good performance with it, and this solves the problem, and it smells quite similar. The opening is a little bit different. I do find it has a little bit more of a lemonade-y vibe, which I do actually quite enjoy. But it has that nice, clean, fresh, somewhat futuristic smell that I get from Elysium that's a little hard to describe, but is very easy to enjoy. So this is quite the mass appealer. It is a very enjoyable fragrance, and it's one that's easy to wear. And it is definitely good for the warmer days in the spring. So that is Zion by Alexandra Fragrances. The number 1 spot goes to one which is definitely a personal love of mine, and it is one of the gems in my collection. Maybe not best suited for spring, but definitely easy to pull off in spring, especially on the colder days, and that is Straight to Heaven Extreme. Absolutely love this one. Picked it up just this year. And it has a really beautiful, boozy, fruity, woody accord that I really, really do enjoy. And this is one that comes off, I think, very masculine. It is quite boozy, so perhaps not the most mass appealing fragrance, but not everything has to be mass appealing. This is a very enjoyable, very classy fragrance from Kilian, and it is one of my favorites for sure. And certainly throughout this spring season, I'm looking to put a little bit of a dent into this. Don't want to use up too much of it because it is, again, discontinued. Who knows if or when they will re-release it again, and I'm sure there will be another price increase when they do. But anyways, guys, that's my spring list. What are you looking forward to wearing this spring? Leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.